Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. Bienvenue. Welcome chez Parfum Prononcé, right? Perfume pronounced. Je m'appelle Jérôme. I am Jérôme. Aujourd'hui, today, je vais vous parler de. I'm going to talk to you about un parfum que j'adore. Okay, that I love. I absolutely love it. It's one of my personal favorites. I wear it frequently. And I love it because of one particular note in it that's done, I think, really well. And then there's another note in it that is another one of my personal favorites. Excuse me. And that for the first one is birch. If you like birch, if you like the smell of birch, any manner of birch, whether it be smoky or smoother, which it is in the perfume that I'm going to talk about today. If you like birch, you're going to like this one. And also a violet leaf. I love violet leaf. I love violet leaf in a fragrance. So that's why I love this fragrance. And I will never be without a bottle of this particular fragrance. Okay, so what is the fragrance? Gentlemen Only by Givenchy. Gentlemen Only. Voici la présentation. Presentation, right? It's just a bottle, right? There we go. And you can see that I've owned it for a few years and it's been out for a few years. And you can see that I've used just about half the bottle. Now this is a 50 ml bottle, I believe. It's a 1.7 ounce. I didn't pop for the big one, probably because I didn't have the money at the time. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid bottle, right? It feels nice in your hand. It's good, whatever, right? It's a bottle of perfume. And then the atomizer, very solid, right? Solid distribution. So that's enough about all that. But yeah, Gentlemen Only by Givenchy. I bought it a couple years ago, probably relatively shortly after it came out. And again, this was shortly after I kind of discovered birch because I had purchased a sample of Aventus, like the little carded sample of Aventus. And this was back in, I want to say I probably got that sample in 2016, so it might have been a 2015 batch of the sample that I got. And there was a birch note in it, obviously, the smoky birch. Probably used birch resin. I don't know when birch resin was eliminated from fragrances totally, because it has been banned. So there might have been a little bit of that more smoky birch in the sample that I had, and in any case, it turned me on to the birch note, and I realized that I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I love the smell of birch. And so I was at a Sephora. I was at a Sephora one day, browsing around, smelling things, looking for something to buy, basically. And I sprayed Gentlemen Only by Givenchy. I sprayed it on the card, smelled the birch immediately, almost immediately. Sprayed it on the skin, and I was like, boom, I gotta have this. I have to have this. So I bought it, right? I've had it for a few years, worn it a lot, worn it quite a bit. You can see, if you saw when I held it up there, it's about halfway gone. It's only a 50 ml bottle, like I said, but I have a lot of fragrances. So most of my fragrances, they're only missing about that much, because I have a number of them, and I wear this fragrance a lot, and it's lovely. I can talk about the notes that are in the fragrance, they're all of the notes, and then I'll talk about the notes that I can personally detect in the fragrance, because like I said, I'm not a perfumer and my nose isn't like super trained, right? So the notes themselves, like the entire note pyramid, is pink pepper, birch leaf, obviously, green mandarin, nutmeg, bergamot, or bergamot. I go back and forth between the two pronunciations. Vetiver is in the heart, so these are the heart notes. Vetiver, cedar, patchouli, which I do get patchouli. Violet leaf, I love violet leaf. And then elemi. And then in the base, we have incense and musk. I get a little bit of the musk, maybe some incensey vibe. But there is a peppery side to this fragrance. It's a little bit of a spice up top. So yeah, but anyway, what I get out of it, for me, this is birch, it's violet leaf, and musk. And also, yeah, like I said, I'll get a little bit of patchouli out of it. And it's just, I love it. It's a terrific fragrance. The perfumer for this fragrance is Jean-Jacques, if that means anything to you. I looked him up on Fragrantica to see if he had done anything else that I was familiar with, and he hadn't. He's done a number of perfumes, and I believe I read that he was the in-house perfumer, le parfumeur en chef de la maison de Caron, Caron, C-A-R-O-N. I think he's the head perfumer there, probably, at least according to what I read. Maybe that's old news now, though. So anyway, it's by Jean-Jacques on Fragrantica. It's rated, this perfume has a 3.91, so it's a little bit under 4. I get it. It's not like, it's not mind-blowing, right? It's not gonna blow your mind, but it is very solid. There are a ton of flankers. Excuse me. There are a ton of flankers for this fragrance, for the Gentleman line from Givenchy, and you can kind of get lost in them. And this regular Gentleman only fragrance doesn't get just the EDT, the eau de toilette. Doesn't get a bunch of hype on anywhere really. Most people don't really talk about it. They talk about the other ones like the Eau Boisée. And some of the other ones. So I don't know. I get a kick out of how many flankers are produced by certain lines, and they all do it. They're all guilty of it, but and sometimes they're awesome. So we got Gentleman by Givenchy, the Eau de Toilette Intense, the intense version. We have, and this is straight from the Givenchy website themselves. So we got Gentleman Givenchy, the Eau de Parfum Boisée. So boisé just means like woody. And I think that may be the one that gets all the hype that people are talking about a lot. Like if you're gonna get the Gentleman one, get the Eau de Parfum Boisé, all right? Get that one. I've never smelled it, never put my nose on any of these other ones. I just think it's funny to see how many that they make. And then we have the straight up Gentleman by Givenchy, the Eau de Toilette. And then we have the Eau de Parfum version, just the straight up Gentleman, Givenchy, Eau de Parfum. And then there's let's see, moving down to the Gentleman only. It looks like they have the Gentleman only Eau de Toilette, which is the one that I'm talking about right now. And then they have the Gentleman original Eau de Toilette, which is another fragrance. And it looks like as of now, that's all they have in terms of the Gentleman, their line. Anyway, so I want to say I've probably put my nose on one or two of the other ones, to be totally honest. At an Ulta, probably maybe the Eau de Parfum, the original one, like the original Gentleman, and yeah, it was probably nice, but it wasn't this, and this fragrance. Like I said, I love birch, I love violet leaf, and this fragrance is packed with that. And so if you're into those notes, you will like this fragrance. I can talk a little bit about performance. I will never talk about a fragrance unless I make a huge disclaimer up front. I will never talk about a fragrance that has like absolute dog crap longevity or performance. Never. Like for me, like I said, I've said this before. If I am talking about a fragrance, if I'm talking to you about a fragrance and I'm sharing my thoughts and opinions and why I like a fragrance, you can almost guarantee that it will perform. Okay. Now I guess there are some parameters for that. I happen to also spray my shirt. Like I always spray my shirt. I spray here, the back of my neck, and then a couple sprays on the shirt, right? And that, with this particular fragrance, that will get me through an entire day, an entire work day, right? It's going to be faint towards the end of the day. It's going to be a little bit fainter. It's not going to be still booming off of you at the end of the day, but it will get you through the day. It's also it's super office friendly. Like I don't see this particular fragrance offending anyone at all, under any circumstances, unless they have some sort of a weird allergy or whatever. Yeah, so it's super safe. It's available everywhere. It's a usual. You're gonna pay regular retail price for it if you buy it from like a Sephora and Ulta. It's probably like $60 for a 50 mil, and 90 for a 100 mil or something like that. Something along those lines, whether 50 to 100 range for the two variations. And if you have a number of perfumes, then just get the 50 mil, because like I've said, I've had mine for a number of years now, and I still have a bunch left, and I use it frequently. I love it. Yeah, Gentleman Only. Gentleman Only by Givenchy. Again, Givenchy. Gentleman Only. Just the regular eau de toilette. The juice has a little bit of a violet tinge to it. a little purpley tinge to it, which kind of goes nice with the gray cap. I kind of like it. This is like one of the few times when I talk about presentation, but it just feels good in the hand. So yeah, I love it. It has my recommendation. If you like a good birch note and you also like violet leaf, this is the one. This is an excellent fragrance. You can't go wrong. And like I said, the performance is good. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you do end up buying this fragrance, I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, that's ça c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If I appear a little tired, it's just my swim goggles. This morning I was at the gym, so and I was swimming. I do my swim on Saturday, so yeah, if I look a little haggard, that's why. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, this was Parfum Prononcé, Perfume Pronounced with Jérôme. My name is Jérôme, and thank you for watching. And have a blessed day. Au revoir.